So I remember growing up, right? And for those of you who are not new to my channel, welcome. I remember growing up and I grew up in Jamaica. I spent most of my years there before moving here to the United States. I think I moved here around 16, but I spent my younger years in Jamaica. And I remember in my classes, there would be like 30 of us, right? 30 students in every class, pretty much. And at the end of the year, we would have these end of year examinations, right? I would say we probably had like 7 exams, and these exams would be averaged, and then based on our scores on those exams, we would get placed from 1 to 30 at the end of the year, right? And at the end of every year, I remember the whole class was pretty much in competition, right? We would literally be competing with each other, you know. And I remember me specifically, me and this girl, we would always be in competition, right? Some years she came first, and other years I came first. On the years that I came first, I remember I was in so much joy seeing her sad, right? Her sadness brought me so much joy. And on the years when I came second, my sadness brought her joy. So it was always just a huge competition thing, right? Huge competition thing. I remember looking over my shoulder just to make sure this person didn't get ahead of me, just to make sure this person wasn't doing better than me. And I even did this with even my closest friends in the classroom, right? Always competing. And honestly, back then I was a child, so that was the most normal thing to me because that's what I was used to. I was used to the constant competition. But as I got older, I began to realize how that mindset flowed over into other areas of my life. And I really began to realize just how dangerous that mindset is, right? As I grew older, I found myself randomly comparing myself to other people. Sometimes I'll go on the internet, right? And I would see, you know, people my age, 22, 23, 24. I would see people my age doing well, right? They would have the luxury cars, penthouses, running their own businesses, real life doing well, right? And seeing that would make me feel or made me feel some type of way. Whenever I saw that, I found myself competing with these people that I don't even know. I found myself comparing myself to people that I don't even know. I don't even know these people, right? And it would make me feel some type of way. There's some part of me that makes me feel as if I'm not doing enough. And even beyond that, there's some part of me that feels as if I'm not enough because I'm not where they are at in life. I don't own the things that they have in life. I'm not doing the things that they're doing, right? And I began to trace it back or trace that mindset back, and I began to realize that that mindset simply came from my childhood. It came from this competition mentality that they instilled in me, right? It came from me growing up, looking at my friends, looking at my peers, looking at the people in my age group, and competing with them, right? And that mindset, as I got older, it was still in me, right? And I think a lot of us suffer from this. I think a lot of us suffer from this constant competing with others in our minds because that's what the world taught us to do. The world taught us that we always need to be in constant competition. The world taught us that life is just about competition. You gotta make sure you're doing well. You gotta make sure you're ahead of everyone else. And if you're not ahead of everyone else, then there's something wrong with you. Then you're not doing enough. Then you're not enough, right? And that's bullshit. A lot of us were so stuck in this competition mentality to the point where we don't even take the time to appreciate our growth. We don't even take the time to look around us, right? Look around us and see the beauty and abundance that we have in our lives, because we're always comparing what we have to what someone else's has, right? And that's dangerous, right? That steals our happiness, that steals our joy, right? We can never truly live a fruitful life if we're always comparing ourselves to other people. There will always be someone that has more than you, right? There will always be someone that has certain things that you don't have. And if you're always looking at someone else to measure up where you are in life, or measure up, whether or not you're worthy or good enough, you always have that shit out here. If you're always looking at someone else to measure up whether you're worthy or good enough, then you're never truly going to find happiness, because happiness cannot be found in comparison. Joy, peace, all those things cannot be found in comparison and in competition, right? See, here's the thing. If you woke up this morning in a nice bed, right? You have food to eat, clothes on your back, you probably have a car. If you don't have a car, that's okay, right? You know, you have a job, you don't have to worry about your basic needs like water, all those things, right? If you woke up like that, and if you're watching this right now on your phone, then you have some access to internet, or you have some access to a digital device, right? If you woke up this morning with all these things, then you are blessed. You are blessed beyond measure. You are so blessed that you don't even realize how blessed you are. You are so blessed because you have the luxury to not, have your basic needs to worry about, right? And especially if you're younger than 30, especially if you're at the age in which you're really just starting out life, you're really just starting to learn more about yourself, discover what you want to do with your life, right? You are blessed. You are not meant to be comparing where you are to where someone else is. No one else is your competition. The only competition that you have, and this is cliche, right? But it's still true. The only competition that you really have, it is with who you were yesterday and who you are today. The only competition that you have is, are you striving to be better than you were yesterday? Are you striving to be a better person? Are you striving to be a more compassionate and loving person? Are you striving to move ahead and move towards your goals, right? Are you striving to improve your mindset and your physical health and your spiritual health, right? Are you striving to be better? That's really the only competition that you have, right? The only competition you have is with who you were of yesterday. And as long as you're at a place in your life in which you're trying to be better, you are doing great, right? As long as you're trying to move forward and you're trying to evolve, you're doing great. You don't have to compare yourself to other people. This competition mindset that they instilled in us, it's a trap. It's a trap to keep us unhappy. It's a trap to keep us in a low vibration, because whenever you're always in competition, then you don't truly get the chance to be happy, right? You're always worrying about if you're doing good enough or if you're good enough, right? Competition really does steal us of our joy. It really does. One of the worst things you can do in this world is to always be competing with other people that you don't even know. And you have to also understand that every single one of us is running our unique and individual race, right? Every single one of us is is on our own walk of this thing that we call life, right? Which means that we're gonna be at different places, because you know we're all running different races. And so whenever you look over to someone else and you use their point of reference as an indicator that you're not doing good enough, then you're disrespecting your own race. And that takes you away from your path as well, because if you have one eye focused on where they are, then you never truly be able to see what's in front of you or see well what's in front of you, right? That's really one of the worst things you can do. Everyone in this world came into this world for a reason. We came into this world for a purpose. Things happen and things unfold at different points in our lives for a reason. And you can look at somebody else and be motivated, right? You can look at somebody else and see what they're doing, you know, and you can look at them and you can say, damn, I aspire to be, you know, where they are in life. There's nothing wrong with that. I aspire to, be as hardworking as that person, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you keep looking over to someone else as competition, then you're never truly going to find joy in this thing that we call life. The world feeds on our unhappiness. The world feeds on our insecurities. The world feeds on us thinking that we're not good enough, right? It feeds on that. The more I live, the more I realize that you just have to have your mind focused on you. And this is not to say you don't, look out for everyone else. Yes, look out for everyone else, be a good person, be compassionate, be loving. But what I'm saying, focus on you. What I mean is that focus on your life, focus on your growth, focus on your evolution, and don't be so focused on everyone else, right? That's what I realize the more I live. I don't have the desire anymore to prove myself to anyone. I really don't. I used to. Sometimes I really believe the reason why, we always compare ourselves to other people is because we feel as if we have something to prove to someone else. We have something to prove to our parents, something to prove to our friends, something to prove to others. And so for that reason, we always compete psychologically. But I'm at a point in my life in which I realize I have nothing to prove to anyone. Nothing at all. Especially to people who aren't trying to progress in their lives. I have nothing to prove to them. I only have to prove things to myself. If I make a promise to myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna carry through. If I said that I was gonna come out here and film a video, then I'm gonna come out here and film that video. If I said I was gonna go to the gym, then I'm gonna go to the gym because I'm gonna keep the promises that I made to myself. Because that's the only way I can become a better version of myself, by doing the things that I said I was going to do, by doing the things that I know I'm supposed to do deep in my heart. So I'm really just proving things to myself, no one else. And that's when life becomes beautiful. As long as you feel as if you need to prove something to someone else, then what about the times when you disappoint them? What about the times when you fail to live up to their expectation? You see how much of a trap that is? When you make life about you, in the sense that you make life about what you think, right? Your growth, your evolution, that's when life becomes beautiful. This thing that we call life can only be lived by you, right? It can only be lived by, you know, by your perspective. It should be only be lived based on your perspective. How often do we deter ourselves from doing what we really want based on the opinions of other people, based on the perceptions of other people? You might have an idea, a goal, something that you want to move towards, something that's really deep down in your heart, and you know deep down in your heart that's who you are. But because you're allowing other people's opinion to dictate how you move through your life, you don't end up doing it, and you stifle an aspect of yourself, right? Life is about you. All of us has something that we're meant to give to the world, and only us can give that to the world. Our form of expression, our form of creativity, all of it is unique. And once you understand that what you have to give to the world is unique to you, then you realize that competition is simply a fallacy. No one can do the job that you're meant to do. No one can carry out the mission that you're meant to carry out. Only you can do that. And once you understand that, you begin to realize that no matter where another person is, oh shit, this shit hot as hell. No matter where another person is, and no matter what another person has, it can't be compared to where you are because you're on your own unique path. You're on your own unique journey. I really could sit in silence here for like hours and be at peace. I really could. So peaceful, so calm. I remember I used to consider life um, as something that I needed to constantly be in battle with, right? I thought that life, or when it comes down to living life, I always constantly needed to be fighting, right? That's what I thought life was meant to live. The more I gain more knowledge and live, the more I realize that life is something that we're meant to enjoy. Life is something that we're meant to get the best out of in every possible way. Life is not meant to be a battle, as a lot of people think. It can be hard, it can be difficult, but life is really just a game that we play. In any game you can think of, there's always going to be conflicts because those conflicts are things that, you know, make you grow. It's like when you get to that boss at a certain level in the game and you finally beat the boss, you level up. The challenges that we face in life are just like that. They help us to level up, they help us to grow. But regardless of that, life is still beautiful. And life is a lot more beautiful once you learn to stay true to who you are, stay true to your heart, focus on yourself, focus on your journey. That's when life becomes beautiful. When you become your own point of reference. And that's when you truly get the best out of life. Every single one of us that we see around us, we're really just different versions of each other. Right? Every single one of us, we're one. We are all connected. The only truth in this world is the truth of oneness. is a truth of interconnectedness. So if you really even think about it, and this just came to my mind, if you really think about it, if you're competing with someone else, then you're really just fighting against yourself. That's really all you're doing. Fighting against yourself if you're always competing against someone else. And if everything around you is essentially you, then you can have whatever it is that you want in this world. Abundance is all around us. You can't run out of abundance as long as you're alive. I really believe that sometimes we believe that because things are in scarcity, right? Because money is in scarcity, because, you know, what else? Certain cars, certain houses, certain caliber uh, of of women or men that we want to date are in scarcity. We believe that we always have to compete. Nothing is in scarcity. You can miss out on 1,000 jobs and there still be a job available to you. You can miss out on 1,000 romantic partners and there'll be that one person that is meant for you. Because abundance really isn't what you see. Abundance is who you are. And once you realize that abundance is who you are, you can't miss out on anything in this world. There's always going to be something that is in alignment with you, and that is for you. And so there's really no need for you to compete. What is for you will be for you. You won't have to fight for it. Sure, you might have to get up off your ass and go apply for that job. Sure, you might have to date to find that person that is meant for you and ultimately connect with that person. I'm not saying not to take action, but what I'm saying is that once we begin to take action from a place of faith and conviction, everything that is meant for us will be for us. And everything that is meant for us will find us. We won't have to compete for it. We won't have to beg for it. We won't have to plead for it. It will simply be for us. And that's the beauty of this thing that we call life. Abundance is all around us. Whatever we need or whatever we desire in this world is always all around us. So to think that you always have to compete, to live up to this idea of competition that society has created, is only going to keep you trapped in a low vibrational state. The secret to living life is to be the authentic you, right? Be the greatest expression of you, to cultivate or tap into, I should say, your self love, right? Improve your self image and go after what it is that you want in this world with the mindset that it's already waiting for you. And all you have to do is claim it. That's all you have to do, right? Life is simple, but we very often complicate it because humans always want to be complicated, right? We complicate every fucking thing. We do complicate everything. But regardless, we're meant to enjoy life. We're meant to live life to its fullest. We're meant to get the best out of life. And you can't truly get the best out of life if you're always in competition with someone else. You get the best out of life when you make life about you. When you make life about growth, when you make life about your expansion, and you enjoy the journey. You enjoy the process of achieving and working towards everything that you desire in this world. So don't look around you and think you're in competition with anyone else. Every single one of us is in our own universe, right? Universe, meaning it's you, right? All of us, there are 8 billion people in this planet, but we're all in different worlds, pretty much, because we're all looking from a different perspective. We're all, believe it or not, we all desire different things. We do really do. We might think we desire the same things, but we really don't. If you really want to break it down, and go deep. And so whatever it is that you desire is out there for you. And all you have to do is be your best self, right? Be your authentic self, believe in yourself, and go get it. That's really it. So thank you guys for being here with me. And like I always say, go outside, man, and enjoy being outdoors. There's so much life to be lived. There's so much to experience. And experiences are really the fruits of life. Experiences really make this thing that we call life beautiful. And it is truly in the journey, as cliche as that sounds, it's truly in the journey that we really get the most out of life. So enjoy the journey and enjoy being the greatest expression of who you are. I will see y'all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a little bit of love every day, like I always say. Yeah, peace and blessings.